Tonight, income inequality is skyrocketing, and the rift between the haves and the have-nots, both in the United States and all around the world, continues to grow into a chasm. According to a new study, the pay of America's CEOs rose 20 times faster than workers in 2025. And while the average global CEO pocketed $8.4 million in pay and bonuses last year, it would take the average global worker 490 years to earn the same amount. Adjusted for inflation, global worker pay fell 12%, while real CEO pay surged 54% between 2019 and 2025.
Now, we got to remember, this here, hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know you guys don't like me talking bad about Democrats, but we got to talk the truth here. We got to be responsible and speak truth to all kinds of power, not just Republicans. We need to hold everybody accountable for this BS right here. This is unacceptable on every single level.
But as CEOs use their increasingly growing power to undermine workers' rights, one of them is defending that $9 latte that you had the other day.
What we're seeing is people, they want to have a special experience. And regardless of what your income level is, in some cases, a $9 experience does feel like you're splurging. And then what that means is we have to make it worthwhile, right? And then in other cases, people believe, well, this is a really affordable premium experience because they're saying well, it's less than $10.
I feel like to fully appreciate what he just said, you might also want to know that the CEO of Starbucks was given a private jet to commute to his office from his home in California. He is going 1,000 miles away, presumptively as often as he wants, and he's got a big old corporate jet in order to do that. And he's asking you to pay for a very special experience in a $9 cup of coffee.
Well, that video was not a premium experience. I'll start there. That was really cringeworthy. I am curious to know, I don't go to Starbucks often, but I'm curious to know if the premium experience is the barista writing your name incorrectly on the cup. Is it the people that squat there all day long and turn it into their home and office? Is it the really bad coffee? I don't know. I'm very curious about it. But to those who are complaining, every time I walk by Starbucks, every time I drive by Starbucks, there is a line as long as the eye can see. People still go. They want their fix. They're willing to pay. So we can't complain unless we use our power as consumers and say, you know what? I can make a cheaper, better cup of coffee at home, and I'm going to do that. But people want to pay for convenience.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
All right. Now, when I first heard that, I got to admit, I almost in a split second agreed. But then I realized this is a piece of shit Trump supporter. I need to think deeper and harder about this before I ever fix my lips, these beautiful lips, to ever say, I agree with him. And then it hit me. When it comes to places like Starbucks, and it was some story, I want to say late last year or mid last year, that Starbucks says something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing, we are catering to the upper class consumers. Those making money. They're not serving folks like you and I. When we look at coffee and saying $9, what the hell? Is this coming with a Happy Meal? Is it coming with something? No, just a drink. I'm sorry. They're not catering to us. But once again, this highlights the problem. When you have wealth, you have more opportunity. Now, this is just coffee. Okay. Hey, guess what? I got my coffee at home in my beautiful, affordable mug here that I create just for you guys. Shameless plug. But we can make our own coffee at home. Okay, I got that. But when it comes to wealth consolidation, widening every single year, year after year, these splurges are only going to be for those who are well off. And then they continue to forget about the hardworking people that get the coffee to these places, that pave the roads for the coffee to get to these places. The workers that actually construct these buildings to make the coffee. They're forgetting about us. We are the backbone of this country. But they know wealthy people are going to pay, and they're going to continue to cater to those people alone. That's the problem.
The thing is, fine. I guess if you have a business model that says $9 for coffee, which they do, is fine. Then the other side of that, so what are you doing for your workers? I think the part that Americans don't like is where they feel, gypped on the other end, on the salary end, on the benefits end, on the ability to sort of provide for their families, that part.
Abby, I'll take a different approach to that because I believe that we live in the greatest country on the face of the planet, and there's unlimited opportunity here for anybody who's willing to work hard and go after it.
All right. You already know this punk ass milk dud in a suit is going to serve you some BS. He could have started this off. We live in the wealthiest, greatest country in the world. These type of companies like Starbucks can pay their workers a livable wage. End of story. Done. We're all applauding, saying, good job. We understand. Problem solved. But this melted milk dud is not going to say that. And trust me, it's going to be some bullshit.
If you're upset about this and how much your CEO makes, go launch your own Starbucks. Go launch your own company. Go
not that
create
easy.
Competition.
There you
Of course,
go.
it's not that easy, but it's never that easy to start a company or something. So anyone in this country, like I said, who's willing to work hard and apply themselves, go become Starbucks competition and sell $7 premium experiences and undercut your competition. I don't think that I wouldn't complain. I would just say, if I don't like it, I'll go start my own thing.
I think. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
I prefer if Abby asks the questions, but sure, you can ask.
I mean,
It's okay. We can talk to each other.
Hey, bro got an attitude, but I like it. I like how these MAGA dumbasses get these attitudes because they know they're going to get pressured and they know they have no strong argument to sit here and kiss the ass of these wealthy people. They know they don't have an argument for that. So I love it that this thumb, he looks like my big toe in a suit. He knows he's going to get grilled and I love it.
do you think that it's insane to say that Starbucks should raise their wages for their workers? Is that insane to say as a concept?
I think that I believe in free markets, and if a private company sets their wages what they are, then that's what they are. And if you don't like the wage,
You support the minimum wage?
If you don't like the wage, don't go work there.
You support
I've
the minimum
applied for
wage?
hundreds of jobs where they didn't meet my minimum I wanted to make, and I didn't go work there. And it was as simple as that.
You also don't have the affordability, or you have the affordability, most likely, to say no to some things.
Sure.
Some people have to take jobs that don't pay the living wage to keep up with rising inflation, and they are in these positions. And I think to Abby's point, what you're seeing is workers at these companies are just not getting paid for what they should be. And then you see these CEOs getting these extravagant, enormous bonuses. And that is the choice of the company.
Right, it's
But
the
I
choice
think
of
there
the company.
has to be some type of conversation that we have of
Yeah.
raising the federal minimum wage and seeing and giving workers more benefits
I appreciate
so that they
that.
can be competitive in the
I
marketplace.
appreciate that. My mother worked 3 jobs when we were coming up. And if something didn't pay more, she would either go get another job or she would work hard to achieve so she could go make more money.
But
it's not as simple as
it's not really about the math.
just telling a CEO what
The
they can
fuck
do.
is he
But-
talking
Well,
about?
but it's not really.
What is he? Okay, do it again. Do it
The
again.
fuck is he talking about?
What is this guy talking about? If I would be ashamed of this bald-headed scallywag sitting here talking about his mama, bragging. He was like, my mother worked 3 jobs and she never came home. Like, what type of mentally challenged individual do you have to be to sit here and say it proudly that your mom had to work 3 jobs, and if she didn't like it, her black ass would get another job? What are we doing here? We are glorifying struggle as if that is a badge of honor. I don't want to struggle. I don't want my kids to struggle. Struggling is not cool. Living paycheck to paycheck and working 2-3 jobs is not cool. Can we agree with that? If you're watching this right now, can we agree that struggling is not cute? It is not fun. And I don't see rich folks standing in line to struggle. But no, we got these dumbass Republicans glorifying poor people as if that is where they want to be. I wish I could ask his mama, did she enjoy breaking her back working 3 jobs? And I want her to be honest.
About the math and the economics. It's about value, right? So not long ago, the guys, and they were all guys who ran big American companies, GM, Ford, Sears, those things. They paid themselves about 20 to 30 times the wage of the average worker. Today, that's 300 to 400 times. Japan doesn't do that. Germany doesn't do that. The UK doesn't do that. America does that because the values shifted from what's best for the company to how do I drive the stock price up and get as much of that as I can. And the notion that so much of it is going to so few people is one of the reasons we got Trump.
And I want to piggyback off of that
Hey.
because Trump was running for president. He said that he was going to raise the wages for all these workers all across America. But real wage growth is 80% less than what it was. So that's the real facts. So if you make a campaign promise that you're going to raise wages for workers all across this country and you do not deliver on that, then who does that fall on?
Well, I don't think the president's point was he was going to go tell private enterprise you have to pay people.
He said he was going to create the economic conditions to do so. Has he done
But
that?
that doesn't mean that he was going to go invade businesses, boardrooms, and say, you have to pay your
Did he
employees
create
more.
the economic conditions to go and do
we
that?
can-
He's
you
telling
can- You can
businesses
spin this
who to
all
have
the
on
way you
air.
want. The president of the United States is not going to, he didn't make a promise to go and invade boardrooms and tell
What?
companies, private
Well, hold on.
companies, how much they should pay their
One
employees.
thing he did do was say that he was going to
Oh,
make
he's
life more
crazy.
affordable. As we pointed out, most Americans say that they don't think that that's where it's headed. He said he would bring prices down. We all knew that that wasn't going to happen because that's not really how prices work. Inequality continues to go up. He talked about bringing down government spending. I couldn't let the day pass without this headline. The Trump Qatari gifted Air Force One is almost delivered, it sounds like. $400 million of taxpayer dollars to get a more luxurious ride in the midst of this conversation that we're having, in which 2 in 3 Americans now say that they worry more about running out of money than dying in this country. Look, I think the question I had for you, because I hear a lot of people talk about 2 or 3 jobs, but is that what we want in America?
Right.
For a mother to work 2 or to 3 jobs in order to keep her family afloat? I take it that is an extraordinary thing that your mother did and that many of our families have done. But is that what we want for the future of this country?
Uh-oh.
I mean, look, that's a point that's taken. I think mothers like mine and others at this table do what they have to do to go and provide for their families. And my father also, for the record, worked several jobs as well. But my point that I'm making is simply this. I would not complain that my CEO is making all this money. If I had an issue with that, I would go start something. I would go create something. I would go create means for me to go and make more money. That's what I wanted to do. We live in a country where that is available. We live in a country where people
We
can,
actually
in fact,
don't live in
go
the country where
and
that's
do those
available.
things.
Here's the thing.
We create new businesses are started in this
I
country
think
every single
can I
day,
just say
and
something?
business
I think
owners are successful.
Tim is tapping into the idea that the American dream and the idea that you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps and create a business, create jobs, grow your wealth is available in this country. And I don't think that is the reality that many Americans face when they see gas prices at $4.39, the highest that they've been since 2022. I don't think Americans feel that the opportunities are there for them. And that's frankly something that Donald Trump said he would create, opportunity.
Okay.